Surfing the Cosmic Waves livecast. Time to watch your host, Sonic Nova, and her starseed guests, coming at you live on YouTube livecast, where we put a new spin on spiritual development and paranormal activities.
Welcome everybody to another segment of Surfing the Cosmic Waves, and I'm going to get rid of that one. Alright, so tonight we have a special guest. I don't know if he'll be able to make it. I was hoping he would be able to. I kind of bailed on him last week because I was sick with doing a detox, and I got, afterwards I got really detoxed. So I'm going to play this little video for you first. This is Larry, and this is on his crypto coaching and trading channel, but I don't see a video on the other one, so I'm just going to play this little intro for you so you get familiar with him. And he may be able to make it on our show, he may not, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Crypto Coaching and Training. We used to be known as Jack's Private Coffee Corner, but now we're focusing exclusively on crypto. This channel will talk about everything crypto. We also have a Patreon page that's a companion to this if you want more detailed information. Look forward to videos on various topics about cryptos. For example, wallets, software and hardware wallets, exchanges, decentralized, centralized exchanges. How do you go about buying cryptos? How do you go about storing your cryptos? Do you have an exit plan? Have you thought about an exit plan? When are you going to sell your cryptos? Will you trade your cryptos? How to know if you should sell your cryptos or not? Are you getting the profit that you want? All kinds of stuff will be covered.
There you go. You kind of get the general idea. I'm going to go to Larry's other channel. And unfortunately here, let's see if we have some videos here. I think we do. And his videos are kind of long here. But I could put a little bit, I don't think he has an intro here. Let's see. He may have an intro. Nope. Where he kind of talks a little bit on my experiences with reptiles. And I'm just going to play a little bit of this for you guys so you kind of get familiar, because this is what we were going to do tonight. And I'll explain why that's not going to happen. But, oh boy, Larry. There we go.
Sorry about that getting up stuff, but this Chinese remote, I'm like pushing it all the time. Just want to make sure it's working. Okay. What is this? Video 9, I think. This is for Samantha's Patreon and Discord peeps. This is Big Lar here. Hope these videos are interesting, entertaining, and you get something worthwhile out of them. Okay, this video will be about reptilians. I will say one thing, and I'm not saying this to sound egotistical or anything like that, but a lot of the topics I've been aware of or the things I've come across, I'm usually 5 to 10 years ahead of the rest of everyone, the rest of the world's call it. And maybe some of you watching this are like me, you've been way ahead of the curve. So by the time you see things, you deal with it, and you're done with it, a number of years goes by, and then it gets to be where it's in the mass consciousness, or, it's popping up on YouTube, or it's popping up on the internet somewhere. And now, normal folks are talking about it, and then you're kind of like, yeah, I knew that 10 years ago, big deal. But in reality, 10 years ago, when you told people about it, they were like, oh my God, are you nuts? And now those people who said you were nuts are telling you about it. Like, they don't remember you told them about it. So this whole reptilian thing, that's one of those topics for me. I think most people, the topic of reptilians, they read about it first. And then maybe they searched on YouTube and, you've seen a video that, some shady video, someone puts a thing out like, oh man, here's an interview with a reptilian, or oh my God, here's a picture of, let's see, who's a famous reptilian? The royal family in England, or this movie star, or that movie star. Look at their face changed on video, they're reptilians. I don't know about any of that kind of stuff, because I'm I'm a person that if I can verify it myself by seeing it, then I'll say, yeah, that happened. But if you're showing me a YouTube video or just telling me a story, I put it off into the opinion group. Okay, it becomes your opinion as far as I look at things, Not that I don't believe you, but I just haven't seen it, so it goes off into the opinion place, not the fact place. A fact would be my watch is blue. I have verified that it's blue. I would call it like sky blue, maybe cerulean blue. It's blue. Okay. My cheap Chinese remote is black with silver buttons. That's a fact. Those are facts for me. Other things I need to actually verify myself. Okay. So while I would like to think, that these people doing these videos are telling us the truth with, these royals or these singers or movie stars are reptilians, I don't know. But what I'm going to tell you about now, I believe it to be true. Okay, this started, about 17 years ago when this happened. I was in an electronics store in Japan with my wife and my oldest son. He was just a baby, and I'm holding him, and I'm in this electronics store. My wife's off looking at whatever, and I see a poster on the wall, and it's of a famous Japanese singer, a female Japanese singer. And I'm looking at the poster thinking, man, this girl has no talent. How can she become a singer? Well, come on, that's like every country, right? A lot of singers don't have talent. They're just marketed by whoever for whatever reason. That's life. So I'm looking at this poster of this female singer, and as I'm looking, her face changes into that of a reptile, a lizard, like a lizard face. And I was like, whoa. I look around at like other customers. No one looks shocked like I do. So then I look back, and the face changes back to the poster. I look again, it changes a second time. And I thought, holy crap, is this the universe telling me that this singer is not human, not a terrestrial human like the rest of us? My God, she looks like a lizard. So, and at this time, I had not heard anything about reptilians, or there were these aliens, aliens as in not human, right? There are these other beings called reptilians. I was not aware of any of that. So being that I was in Japan and spoke Japanese most of my day, I put the label of Tokage Jin on this person, because Tokage is a Japanese word that means lizard, and Jin is a word that means person. So if you could see it in Chinese characters, and I explained it to you, you'd understand. So basically lizard, and I use this word for many years. And when I speak Japanese and talk about this topic, I still say Tokage Jin, even though someone may have another name for it. Okay, so then I was teaching this group of students. I was teaching English. These were adults. And I had two people in my class, two young girls who exhibited psychic abilities. So we would have a lot of fun and talk about different topics. And I went to teach this class the next time, and I said, you guys are not going to believe what I saw over the weekend at the electronics store. I saw a poster of a famous singer. I'm not going to tell you who, but this person's face, the poster changed into like this lizard person. And I said, I'd like all of you to write down a name, who you think it is, and then I'll tell you who it is, and we'll see if any of you guessed it. And one of the girls says to me, I don't have to write it down, I know who you're talking about. I said, who? And she said the name of the singer, which I won't say. Unless you like Japanese music, and then I can tell you. But anyway, I won't say the name. Every time I do say the name, in relation to the story, I get tremendous goosebumps. Tremendous goosebumps. So I tell them the name, and immediately the whole room got cold. I mean, like the temperature dropped about 15, 20 degrees cold. And as soon as the girl said to me, I know who it is, it's so-and-so, I said, yes, you're right. Boom, the temperature immediately dropped, and one of the girls went, oh my God, it feels so cold in here, I think something happened. And from that moment forward, I was like, I was dogged, I was followed in my dreams, and probably on an astral level by these two minions, I'll call them. And they like slowly sucked the energy out of me for weeks, and I couldn't shake them off. And I was worried. I was getting worried because I could just feel my energy slowly being drained. And I was told that, you have revealed something you were not supposed to reveal, and you will pay for it. And, I had different protection rituals that I had learned through the years I was doing it, and these didn't affect it. So I realized, holy shit, this is like a big deal. I'm dealing with a heavyweight champion of the earth here, something at that level. This isn't like kids playing around level anymore. Slowly getting weaker, and I remember it came to like a head. I was at my in-laws' house, and my father-in-law and I, we were remodeling his kitchen, tearing down walls, all this stuff. And a new countertop, lots of work, and he wanted to work really late this night. Like after dinner, he said, hey, let's just keep going till we're done. And I was like, oh man, I'm so tired, and just something said to me, okay, I'm not going to put up with this shit of having my energy drained anymore. I'm going to fight you bastards. You're not going to put me down. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to help my father-in-law, and you're going to see that you're not affecting me at all. And so even though I was super tired, I worked with them till like 11 o'clock that night. I was exhausted. But I also felt like my energy, my energy being drained had stopped. Like I was able to stop it at that level, just quite low. I went to bed that night, and I wake up, I went to bed, fell asleep, and then I wake up in this dream that was really real. One of those, again, like, hey, I can, my hand, I know where I am. I was in this huge, huge Roman Colosseum. It was dirt, and it had a huge wooden pit behind me, and it was like, I don't know what the diameter would be, 20 feet in diameter. So what is 20 feet? 6 meters in diameter or something. There were 3 guys there, 3 guys in front of me. And it was such a huge place, I could tell there was a crowd, but I couldn't see clearly. It was dirt, it was sunny out. These 3 guys come at me. I for some reason, I turn around and I run up this big column, wooden column behind me. So you imagine the column's like this, and I'm like running up it like this, I'm running up it, they're chasing me, I look back, I can see them. So I get up so far, and it was like I became a different person. Okay, so I'm running up, I jump, and then I land. So I jump, I turn around in the air, and I go backwards into this wooden column. So I became part of the wooden column. These 3 attackers come up to where I entered the wood, they're looking around, and then I immediately make like a million like long wooden splinters, very thick, sharp wooden splinters, shoot out at these 3 guys, and it just impaled their whole bodies, and boom, knocked them back off this a pillar. And then I just simply make myself shoot to the bottom, and I make myself part of the ground next. And then I can see them, they're just like riddled with these wooden splinters, bleeding, and they're like done. And then from the ground, I like pulled their whole chakra systems out, these three guys. I just pulled their chakra systems right out of their bodies, down into the earth, and sent it down into like the middle of the earth. And then they like disappeared. And then I rose out of the dirt, and then I said, yeah, like don't mess with me again, or this will happen to the rest of you. And I woke up, and I was like sweating and stuff, but I felt good. And the next morning I woke up, I was fine. I never had a problem ever again. And shoot, I'm here 15 minutes. Long story short, I was on the train, and once I felt there were these other reptilians on the train, and I said, how many of you slimy reptilians on the train? I said this in Japanese. I kid you not, so I'm tall enough when I ride the train in Japan, I can see, like, my head's like way above everyone else's heads. I can see, down 3-4 cars worth. And I said, in Japanese, like, how many slimy reptiles are on this train today? And this guy and a woman in a business suit, like, they're on the same train car as me, but at the end, and they both went like this and looked right at me. And then this is all in my mind, and I said, oh, you two, huh? And I said, well, don't mess with me. You know what happened to those three others? And then they turned around. And there have been times I've been places where I've seen people who I think, oh, you're probably a reptilian, and you're thinking of messing with me. And I just said to them, you know what happened to the other three? The same will happen to you, or worse, because I've gotten better since then. And I haven't had any problems. I did once have a dream where someone came to me, and they said they were like an emissary from the reptilians, and they said, we would like to call a truce. And I said, what are the conditions? And they said, we won't bother you or anyone in your family, and you won't bother us. And I said, well, that's fine with me. I agree to that. But if you mess with anyone, I'm coming for all of you. And that's where we left it. Now that sounds like really weird and egotistical and like, but that's the absolute truth as I know it. That's the reptilians. And they are not the most enjoyable people. They do not like being exposed. However, they can be defeated, and they know it. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. This is video number 9. This is
All right, so I wanted to make a little introduction to Larry. He couldn't make it to the show, but I still wanted to do this show for him because there's some very challenging things that are actually happening in Japan and China, and you guys may not be aware of it. So part of my whole idea here, even though we can't have Larry on the show, doing the show and you can ask him questions, which is what I was hoping for. This is the situation in Japan right now. And I don't know exactly where Larry lives, but it's possible that he has no internet right now, that he has no way to actually get a hold of me. I would like for all of us here on this show to pray for him and his family, to keep them safe, and have our whole group, the whole meta group, to pray for Larry's, because this video just came out, last night, and that's why I was like, today I was like going, oh God, I hope this didn't happen to him. This is from Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I'm giving him full credit for it, and I want to show his video to you guys so that you guys know what's going on here in Japan right now and in China, and that we can send them protection, for them to basically. And thanks for coming to the show, Meta and Reggie. I really appreciate it. And if we can pass this on to our group and the Woo Woo group, that would be awesome. But I'm gonna play this show for you because it's pretty devastating what's happening right now in Japan and China, and this is all due to the grand solar minimum. It's due to the weather patterns that are happening on the planet, where we're having, these guys are having they're calling it a 100-year flood. It looks more to me like a 1,000-year flood. It looks like biblical floods that are going on. So I'm going to play this for a little bit. This is, I believe, only a 8-minute video. So I'm going to play this for you, and while we play it, if we could just all focus on Larry and his family being safe, and for them, to come back and tell us what their adventure was when this is all said and done, because this is going to happen for the next week there. So here we
Today,
go.
due to COVID-19, Japan and China are experiencing some of the most extreme flooding in 100 years. Tonight we're going to be covering it. We've been predicting this for over 3 years, that the cosmic ray maximum will be reached in our lifetime, and it happened just in the fall of last year, and we've been pretty steadily hitting that cosmic ray maximum. That would result in increased cloud formation and record flooding worldwide, as well as record droughts in those areas where the moisture is left out. The 1931 China floods during a solar minima, a very deep minima, proves our point. Japan flooding death rises to 58 with more rain on the horizon. Tens of thousands of troops, police officers, and other rescue workers have worked their way through the mud and debris in the hardest hit riverside towns to evacuate residents. Here is some of the devastation. Pounding rain continues to batter large areas of Japan's main island, swelling rivers, triggering landslides, and leaving at least 58 people dead. Parts of Nagano and Gifu, including areas known for scenic mountain trails and hot springs, were flooded by massive downpours Wednesday. Public broadcast NHK showed a swollen river gouging into its embankment and destroying a highway. In the city of Giro, the rising river was flowing just below a bridge. Flooding and mudslides blocked parts of the main road connecting major tourist destinations in Nagano, stranding hundreds of residents and visitors, though they were believed to have been safely evacuated. And that's the picture you're looking at here. In neighboring Gifu, hundreds were isolated in the hot spring towns of Geru and Ontake. In the scenic mountain towns of Teyakama, several houses were hit by a mudslide, and their residents were safely rescued. As of Wednesday morning, the death toll from the heavy rains, which started over the weekend, had risen to 58. At the peak, as many as 3.6 million people were advised to evacuate. That's a gigantic
crazy
number. Although it was not mandatory and the number who sought shelter was not known, about half the advisories had been lifted Wednesday afternoon, thankfully. In places where the rain had subsided, residents have been busy cleaning up their homes and workplaces. In Giru, a man washed off mud at the entrance of his riverside house despite the evacuation advisory. "I was told to run away, but I stayed," he said. "I didn't want my house to be washed away in my absence." Smart guy. In Otia, teachers at the nursery school were wiping the floors and drying wet furniture. "I hope it can return to normal life as soon as possible," said many, and then Diamond produced these videos. Now here's the problem. Look at that. Take a look at that. This is some of the footage from Japan. And we'll just flip over to the next video here, see what we got. That is a very difficult park job.
Sorry, I got to laugh about that one. But this is what's going on in Japan right now. So I'm not surprised Larry couldn't make it. I really am not. And we're all praying for his and his family's safety.
Clearly, some devastation there. Let's take a look at this video. Yeah, we're going to get demonetized if I play that, so. Let's just show some devastation of boats being torn loose. These are clearly like tourist boats. Just being washed away. Huge amounts of water there. So there is that. Now, where are we at here? Scenes of devastation from the floods in Japan. There are some more photographic pictures here. That's the one we started on. Take a look
Yikes.
at the amount of homes, businesses devastated there. And it's not going to get any better. We're about to pick up on some China activity. All the information we just showed you, the pictures were coming from Japan. What you're looking at here is the GFS total accumulated precipitation in millimeters through the 18th of July. So for the next 9 days,
Oh boy.
there is over 3 meters predicted for southern Japan, and a huge area of 3 to 4 meters of water. 3 to 4 meters of water. 10 to 12 feet is predicted in these bright yellow zones. Throughout a huge area, thousands of square miles in China, hundreds of square miles in southern Japan. The devastation is going to continue for the next 2 weeks, as China's massive floods move east, battering communities along the Yangtze, including the regions where the Hufu was. So, the Wu-Tang Clan is not out of the woods yet, as dams in China's Hangzhou opens all 9 floodgates for the first time in history. 12 villages were flooded, 300,000 people affected, and information is sparsely getting out of this region. We have some video footage of what it looks like when you release all 9 gates. Now, that dam is not going to last very long under those conditions. This bridge. The dam above is now being released. This is the flood levels. And the amount of erosion happening.
Yeah.
It's anyone's guess.
It's gonna show it right now,
Now,
the Three Gorges Dam. Check this out.
Stop some news updates. A flurry of natural disasters is continuing across China. In Hubei province of China, close to 29,000 citizens were evacuated as a nearby reservoir dam is showing signs of deformation.
That's
and
it.
Also is
That's the Three River Dam.
Well, that didn't work out, did it? Well, stuff happens.
Timing's pretty funny, you guys.
And
Oh my
I'll
god.
leave links to that video below. But what it shows is that there are many reservoirs in the Hubei province that are now at their limit of capacity in China. We have devastation in Japan, flooding. We have devastation that we showed you. Yeah.
So that's kind of where things are at right now. And I wanted to do this show just to support Larry and his family, because I'd hate to be in Japan right now. Seriously, I mean, this is scary. You know, really, really scary. And I know that's why you couldn't make it on the show. So for people that are wondering, where's Larry? Well, I don't know, and I'm hoping that he's safe. You know, we're all praying for his safety and his well-being, but I did want to show people, you know, his websites, and for us to definitely pray for his family and to pray for, you know, good things to happen for Larry and his family, because man, I'd hate to be in that situation. But these are the times that we're in, and this is kind of like I want to say that this is what we're all going to be facing, even here stateside. So don't think for a second that because this happened in Japan and China, it's not going to happen here. We all need to prep. It's the bottom line, you know. And I'm kind of really bummed that, you know, it's so funny because last week I was supposed to do the show with Larry on Saturday, and I got really sick and I slept all day and night, and I totally missed it. And this week we have this. So it's kind of like, okay, Larry and I are even now. Sort of, kind of. Not really, but it's kind of like, you know, I actually, when I was having a chat with Larry, I was really concerned about him, you know, being over there with his family. And I did mention that to him, and I showed him another video because there was starting to be some devastation, but it wasn't as bad as this. This is really bad, and I'm hoping that he's not on the south part of Japan. I'm hoping he's more on the north side of Japan. And that he's not being affected by it. He did share with me that he uses, I forget what that technology is, that you use the copper tubes, and you have that material, you know, so that the chemtrails kind of avoid you. So he did say that he posted some stuff around his house like that, so he wouldn't be affected that bad. But when storms like this come in, it's pretty like intense and dangerous, and you know, and I'm just like hoping that he's in northern, I don't know where he's at. I've never asked him where he lives in Japan, but you know, hoping he's in northern Japan where it's not as devastated as southern Japan, and that he'll come back to us, and he'll maybe in a couple of days say, hey, you know, the whole country was like, I'm sure all these people don't have internet connection, they don't have any way to get a hold of people. I mean, obviously they're getting videos out, you know, on their phones, so maybe there's some internet there, and maybe there's ways to communicate. Hopefully there is. So in the meantime, I don't know if you guys have any questions. I can't answer questions for Larry. But we can definitely do this intentional prayer for his safety and his family's safety, and you know, and we'll pick up the show once Larry and his family are safe, and you know, he'll come back on the show again, and we'll redo this again. I just wanted to, you know, I thought because of what happened, and I was aware of that I wanted to acknowledge that, and you know, and just do this as a favor for Larry, so that we could give him, you know, the best opportunity to kind of get out of the challenges that he's encountering over there. And I was actually going to promote his website, his Patreon, and all that. I did post it. So in this short video that's going to go out, it'll definitely be posted and people can watch this. But unfortunately, we can only have Larry here doing his videos, not really live. So thanks you guys for showing up as support for Larry. It's so appreciated. And if you guys have any questions before we leave and close the show, I just wanted to do a quickie show for him, and you know, send him support and love and protection. And if you don't have any questions, you know, we'll call it a quick evening. Hey, it's a quick show for me. I love doing these long shows, but not talking over and over. So yeah, thank you guys for showing up, and I'm gonna end the stream, and thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes and hanging out with Larry.